What's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to talk about the Fourth Arrow original shoulder and base versus their newest and latest and greatest micro shoulder base. All in all, the actual shoulder mount is very similar, but there's a few very notable upgrades that I wanted to talk about. So I'm just going to dive into their older one that I've been running for the last couple years here since they came out. And you know, one of the things that I never loved about this base is that we have the base right here that attaches to the tree, and it's got the ability that you can buy several of them so you can come back and just drop the shoulder in from the top. It's a great idea, but what happens is you have all this mass up top, and then it ends up making a fulcrum once you extend with your arm, and that puts a lot of pressure. If you look at this base, and this has been weathered, I've used it quite a bit. It's actually bent the stamped plate here in the carriage bolts. So some of the big upgrades to talk about with the latest micro base is they got away from the carriage bolts. I was really impressed by this. We got big Allen screws, and it comes with this big hex key, and that's really nice for when you want to crank this down. As you see, I didn't put the straps in here, so I'm gonna have to come back and do that again. Another huge upgrade, instead of that round spin dial, we have something you can actually get your fingers on, and that makes it a lot easier to turn this, and then we can pop the base out. Okay, so it's got a point of contact at the top and then at the bottom, so this is really nice. So for somebody like me personally, what I typically do is I like to hunt different setups. So I will keep this actually locked in, just as you see, and I'll run and gun this way. You can buy these other bases here and keep them set up on the tree. But for myself, you know, I'm gonna end up just taking this whole thing with me. So this is a big upgrade. Another thing that's really subtle that I picked up on is that if you look at this thread screw on the original one, what this is supposed to do is tighten up where the arm goes into the base. And with the original one, it just puts some pressure on the inside of that plastic sleeve. So what they actually did to upgrade on the micro, if we can get the camera in here, is they actually put a groove in that plastic. And with that groove, when we set this with this screw, it will actually compress, and we actually have something that makes really good contact that stiffens up the camera arm. So a couple little subtle differences made a huge improvement. You know, the biggest improvement though is just the actual physics, where we don't have all this mass up on top pulling down. My one biggest critique to this day is that we still haven't changed this. I've had some problems in the past where I actually lost the pin that allows us to adjust and loosen for the shoulder mount here. So this goes in, and this is how we can loosen it. And I'm not a huge fan of this string contraption and then the extra parts with the set screw. So that's one thing. If it was up to me, I would make a change with that. But overall, I mean, just how compact that the new upgrade is, the micro base, I would say that it's worth making a change, because if you're trying to lug all your camera stuff in, just having that much less packable stuff makes a big difference. And I just wanted to show a little comparison here too. So when I first started filming several years ago, I was running one of these big gizmos here from Muddy. Camera technology has gotten a lot more compact, but just to show the difference here, and we have several pounds of gear. I mean, it's hard to believe that I used to carry all this crap in the woods, but we went from this, and now we're down to something like this. So that's a huge improvement there. So, but Fourth Arrow is doing an awesome job. I'm still rocking what they call their stiff arm. I didn't really see a big enough benefit to go to the carbon. To me, the stiff arm was nicer because we have these nice welded joints, and the carbon I was just a little skeptical of, just the way that the carbon sleeve ties into to where the joints are, but I haven't heard any negative feedback. So, you know, for you guys looking for ultralight setups, this might be a good way to move to. But you know, overall, I'm really pleased with what I see, and the micro base, like I said, it's a true winner. It's a true winner in my book. So nice job, Fourth Arrow, and I look forward to some of the innovations that you have in the future here.